Hello, and thank you for joining me again. And if this is your first time, welcome. Heart opener. What exactly does that mean? Recently, working with a beautiful soul, we've had over a year, probably 8 or 9 sessions. And I said to her, when we first met, your heart was open maybe 5%. And I could see that she didn't like that. So I needed to explain to her. And before I could, she jumped in and said, yes, but my heart is open. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying at the time it was 5%. She said, yes, but I feel love, I feel joy. And I said, yes, we all do. We feel love when someone gives us something, when somebody acknowledges us, or when you have a spouse that gives you a hug or holds you. There we feel love, but it's from an outside source. A heart opener is when you feel it from the inside. And I know that many people want to be in their heart. I remember for myself, years ago, sitting at a traffic light after doing a weekend retreat, attending, and feeling very peaceful and going, oh my gosh, I can't believe how peaceful I feel. I want more of that. So I kept going forward and saying, well, how do I get more of this peace? Where does it come from? Where does this happiness come from? What is love? So that was my quest. And I knew myself way back when. I was a very angry, self-centered, nasty person. And I knew my heart was closed. I knew my heart was buried in 20 feet of concrete. And I also knew at the time I needed to do whatever I could to chip away that concrete. But I wanted to blow it up and get right to the source of things. But that was not going to happen. There is no quick fix. There's no fast forward on this one. So with this client, I said to her, today in our session, and for the work that we've just completed, your heart is opening much more. To what degree, I don't know. But you know, because you know how you are not being triggered. You know that you have calmer states, more so now than before. So I asked her, I said, do you notice what's different between a year ago and now? And she said, well, kinda. It is so important that you check in with yourself. If I can do this, remembering it all the time, but most of the time when I'm lying in bed before I sleep, I run through my whole day. And I go, so how did I react there? What could I have done differently? There was a bit of anger. So let's just bring out that anger and heal it. So that's how I know how I'm switching from one day to the next. Because every time I do the inner work, I am evolving more into my heart fully. The other key for me too is someone said, well, how do you know that you're done? And I said, well, I think you would be transitioning off this planet if you were done. And I said, I don't know. I really can't tell you who on this planet at this time, walking in human form, whose heart is open 100%. I haven't got a clue. I know for myself, when I stopped judging, boy, did I judge people. Whoa, boy, I was perfect and you were not, you were far from perfect. Until someone said to me, Christine, every time you judge someone, you're judging yourself. And I went, what? So you see, all these little indications that kept popping up for me was only showing me how I needed to go in deeper within myself. So working with this client, this beautiful soul, she finally realized, she said, I really do understand this now. I said, it's a process. I said, whatever you do in life, if you teach someone something, is it something you get overnight? No. It's based on your commitment. But what happens to us is that we give up. We stop. We think, well, we've made it to the top. I love myself enough and life is grand. But you're still being triggered. You're still jumping in the boxing ring to prove a point, to make everyone wrong and you're right. When we came on this planet, we forgot the commitment we made to our soul. And our commitment to our soul was to fulfill the destiny of our soul. And that destiny was to find that inner peace within you where you are just in total bliss. You hold love for everyone. You hold love for yourself. For example, with this client, she has a horrible relationship with her mother. And I said, those people in your life, you should be giving them a hug. She looked at me, why? I said, because they are your teachers. Their job when they came on this planet was to show you what you needed to do. They showing you the inner work you need to do and you're not done. You need to keep doing your inner work. This is not something you do once in a while. It's a commitment you make to yourself and to your soul. I can remember way back when I heard all this stuff and it went in one ear and out the other because I was perfect. You see, the ego, your beautiful ego, will do everything and anything to convince you that you're in your heart, that everything's perfect. Because you see, the ego has a lot of fear and it doesn't want to lose control over you, but it doesn't realize, and this is all part of this evolution, your ego doesn't realize that it can work in harmony with your heart and soul. Where your heart, soul, your body, and your ego, they all work together as one. So the thoughts in your head are not grinding you to a halt and making you do crazy things. Your ego is presenting you with thoughts that are of harmony, of joy and peace and bliss. Not always, mind you, because no, my work is not done yet. And if you ever think your work is done, I hate to say it to you, but you are so wrong. So it's where you become honest with yourself and say, no, this person said something and it really upset me. Or I watched this movie and I couldn't see the end of it because it just upset me too much. These are all your triggers. They're only showing up to show you what you need to do, the work you need to do. It ain't over until it's over. This is an incredible journey that we are on. It's an incredible time to be alive, to be experiencing life as it is now. To have these opportunities to make it so much easier for us to heal. The other thing I'd like to share with you before we leave is that I had to get rid of this stoic idea that I could do it on my own. And there's a lot of stuff I can do on my own. But also too, when I get really deep in my healing work and I can't get to it, like it's so far out of my reach, then I know it's time to reach for someone else to get the guidance that I need so I can dive deeper. The deeper I go, the deeper you go, the lighter you become, the more light flows through you. You begin to feel more at peace, and it just gets more peaceful. And your life just changes, the rhythm, the peace, the harmony. So don't give up on you, because you are worth it. And I guess that is something you have to discover too. How worthy do you feel you are worth it? From my heart to yours, thank you so much for stopping by. Feel free to leave comments, share your insights, because we're doing this together. I help you, you help me. We help the planet. We help the collective. It's no longer about I can do this on my own. It's about being in a community of people working together as one. Ne ke asha shatira se koro tiara mira se nakata a chunya she. God bless you all.